Hi, my name is Steve Stine, and I had a request to teach The Headless Children by W.A.S.P. So I'm going to break this down. I'm actually tuned a half step down right now as W.A.S.P is. So please make sure that you grab a guitar or tune your guitar down a half step, and let's go ahead and get started. Okay, the first thing we're going to do here is the beginning of the song starts with this... So let's go through that little riff once. Okay, let me play it at tempo and then I'll show you what this looks like. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so what we're doing here is we're simply going to the 7th fret, 5th string. We're making a power chord, and then we're moving up to the 6th string, 7th fret, and then back down to the 5th string. So then what we're going to do is we're going to move to the 10th fret of the 5th string. And then I'm going to strum it again, and then I'm going to move up to the 12th fret and strum that twice. So it sounds like this. Okay, then I'm going to go back down and play the 7, 7, 7, 10. Then there's this little, which is 0, 3, 2, 0. And again, I would probably add a little bit of a palm mute just to keep it from getting too noisy. But again, always remember with these songs, take liberties. And remember that songs are merely interpretations. You do the best you can to try and make them sound as accurate as you can, but yet as comfortable as you can for yourself, okay? So... And then it ends on an E power chord, and I'm going to the 6th string, just an open power chord. And you could go to the 5th string if you wanted to. It doesn't really matter, but... And then there's like this synth thing that comes in this keyboard thing, but we can do it on guitar. It sounds like this. So what I'm going to be doing now is playing 5th string and 4th string power chords. So right now I'm going to be on the 5th string. And what I want you to see is how you could use different fingers with that power chord. You know, a lot of times we learn how to play power chords doing 1st finger, 3rd finger, and pinky, which is absolutely right. But we don't need the pinky necessarily if we don't want to use it. And sometimes I'll even play power chords with my 1st finger and my pinky on 7 and 9 like this, and I won't even use my ring finger. It just depends. So as you watch me play, on any of these videos, you're going to see me sometimes finger these different ways, and it's just, again, whatever's comfortable for you. But basically what we're going to do is we're going to head up here from 7. I'm going to go up to 10, and really quick, I'm going to go 10, 9, 7. So this takes a little bit of timing to get used to picking those. So down, up, down is what I'm doing. Now if you wanted to simplify that, you could go and you could just play the single notes. You could play 7 on the 5th string and then 10, 9, 7 on the 5th string, and it would sound just fine. Okay? To just make it a little more interesting and a little bit fuller, I'm going to play them as power chords. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop down to the 4th string power chord on the 7th fret. Now, if you've never done a 4th string power chord, when you do that, you can't add the 2nd string. You can't do this because it doesn't work. You'd have to add your pinky 1 fret higher, like this, so it looks like a D chord. Okay? Or you simply just leave that finger off. You just don't use it. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to play it as a 2-finger power chord, so I have. Okay? So when I'm here, you'll notice one of the shortcuts I like to use is if I'm using 1st, 3rd, and pinky like this, when I drop down to the 4th string power chord, I leave my pinky there, and then I just move my 1st finger down. See that? So it's an easy way of getting down to that string. So I have, and I'm going from 7th fret to 5th fret. Now the second time I'm going to go. So I'm not going up, I'm going that direction. Okay, and then I'm going to go, so So I'm going to the 4th string power chord on the 5th fret. I'm going to strum it twice, and then up to the 5th string. So there's definite Sabbath overtones going on here of the way that these chords are moving. So notice how the first one has da 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 da, and then the second one's single in the front, da 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 da, and then it doubles here. So you have. Okay, and that's one of the harder riffs here. So then once we come off that, we just hit the E power chord, whether it's down here or whether it's here, we let it ring out, and then the guitar fades out and it's just bass in the verse. Then when we move into the pre-chorus is going to go, I'm going to play these as open chords. We're going to go G, A, playing that as a power chord style, and then E. And I do that again. And then after doing that twice, it just goes to A, up to E, and then A, and then D. And I'm going da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay, so let me break those down again, and then I'll show you the next part. Here's the intro. Then it ends on an E. It fades out. Sorry, I have a cold. And then we move on to this part. Okay, and again, lots of tricky power chord stuff. If you want to simplify it, just play the bass notes. And you could do something like that, kind of like in Iron Man. You know, you could do something like that. Okay, then we move on to the pre-chorus. That's the G, A, E, 2, 3, 4, G, A, E, 2, 3, 4, A, 2, 3, 4, E, 2, 3, 4, A, 2, then up to the D, and it goes into back into that again. Now, we go through all of that stuff, and then finally we get to a part where it kind of kicks in, and you've got this, the drums change, the beat changes, and you get this. So, again, I'm going to show you how to do it picking, and I'm going to show you how to do it with slurring, and then you can decide whatever works best for you. So now what I'm doing is I'm going to the 7th fret of the 5th string, which is E again, and I'm doing da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I'm doing groups of 3. So I'm going to do 3 7s, and then I'm going to do... So I'm going to go 7, 7, 7, then I'm going to the 10th fret, I'm going to do a pull off from 10 to 7, excuse me, and then another 7. So I have... Okay. Now, if you'd rather not do the pull-off, you could go and just pick them all, and that'd be fine too. Okay, then I'm going to go 9, 7 on the 4th string, and 7 on the 5th string. So I got to cross over. So I'm staying barred here the entire time, and I'm using kind of a palm mute to keep everything relatively clean. So it's 7, 7, 7, 10, 7, 7, 9, 7, 7. And then I'm going to go 10, 9, 7 on the 4th string. So I'm using my pinky, my middle, or pinky ring and first. So I have, sorry. Sometimes they're easier to play fast instead of slow. Break them down, I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, then I go back, and then I head down to the 5. Okay, now what makes this pretty tough is that if you're not used to alternate picking, you really need to learn how to do it for this. So the whole time, if you watch my right hand, I'm going to play through it and you just watch my right hand, I'm keeping this alternate picking going. Okay, so I'm going down, and then I start my next group with up, and then down, up, down. So there I got to go down, up on the 4th string, down, up, down. Okay, so I have, see how I got to switch strings right there? And that's a whole nother, you know, if you've never really done alternate picking before, it's something to really study, and I've got other videos that talk about that stuff too. But what happens is you try and train your hand to not think about string changes. It doesn't matter, you just keep alternate picking. So as you switch strings, this hand isn't really concerned with the fact that you're switching strings. Because a lot of times, every time you switch a string, you want to start with a down strum, and that's what makes alternate picking difficult, especially when you're playing groups of 3, obviously. Now the second time I'm going up to the 10th fret power chord, which is a G. Okay. Now could I pull off these? Sure, I could go like right there. I could do a pull off from 9 to 7. And then I could do all those as pull offs. So again, before you start worrying about picking patterns and hammer-ons and pull-offs, the first thing you want to do is just develop the pattern. Okay, so 7, 7, 7, 10, 7, 7, 9, 7, 7, 10, 9, 7. Okay, just developing that whole thing. And again, just watch the video as much as you need to draw that in so it makes sense to you. Now you'll notice I'm ending with an upstroke when I do my power chords. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go into the very end of the song that looks like this. So what we're going to do here, I'm trying to remember it, okay? So I got a lot of songs to learn here. So I'm going from 7, and then 7, 5, which again sounds so much like a Sabbath tune. So we got 7, and then 7, 5. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to change these notes of this power chord. I'm going to go 7, 5, 4. And then the 5th string, 5th fret is going to stay the same. So I have 2, 3, 4, and then... So notice how I'm using my pinky here. I'm going 7, 5, 4. So I'm going to go from here. Again, you could use your 3rd finger if you wanted to. Then I'm going to go to 2 5s, and then a 5, 4. Kind of tricky. Then I go back to my 7. Okay? Now, if you'd rather not go back up to 7, you could go like this. And then go up. If it's easier to jump down there, do it that way. Okay? And then what I'll do is I'll come back and I'll do the solo for this and break that down for you as well. And you've got the whole song. So hopefully this helps you in learning this song. Make sure you let me know if you have any other requests for songs, and I'll do my best to learn them and teach you how I would approach playing them. And please always remember, you have liberty to do whatever you need to do with it to make it more comfortable for yourself. This is merely a suggestion of how the song would go. So take care, and I'll speak to you soon.